Welcome to Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, back again with another episode. I want to talk about in this episode about forfeiting your humanity. I don't think a lot of people in prison realizes that's exactly what they do. Uh, this dawned on me the other day during a class discussion that we were having. I attend a college course through Western Kentucky here at the prison, and we were talking about another topic, but during the course of this topic that we were discussing, which was the death penalty, uh, one of my friends mentioned that he thought that we forfeited a certain amount of our rights when we commit crimes. And I'm not talking legally, I'm talking morally, right? Okay? Just want to draw that distinction because it's going to make a big difference in what I have to say. And I'm going to be talking about that in this episode. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. What does it mean to forfeit your humanity? I want to lay this out really, really clearly so that you won't be distracted by what it is, and the point that I'm trying to make here. When I say forfeit your humanity, I mean that a lot of people think that because we come to prison for whatever crime we commit, especially if it's a violent crime, that morally we don't have the right to complain about our treatment. We don't have the right to voice our opposition to certain things. We don't have a right to feel sad. We don't have a right to feel anything because we have crossed a line, a legal line at that, and a moral line that says that you don't deserve this right. And I adamantly disagree with that. I don't think that, first of all, let me be clear. What I did was absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. And anybody that's in prison that is guilty, whether they accept that or not, the issue is that it was the wrong thing to do. But the fact that I committed a crime, and I'm not trying to belittle the crime or diminish the seriousness of my offense or anybody else's throughout this conversation. So I want to be clear about that as well. But the fact that I committed a crime does not in any way take away or change the fact that I'm still a human being. And as a human being, whether I appreciate what that truly means or not, does not, by virtue of my actions, forfeit my humanity. I just don't believe that it does. I was born a human being. I'll die a human being. Whether I fully appreciate that or not does not give anyone the right to treat me less than that. And in doing that, attempt to turn me into this monster. And that's what I mean when I talk about guys in prison or people in prison that think that it's okay to act the way we sometimes act in here towards one another and the people that work here. I don't think we fully appreciate and understand what has happened to us. The process, that grinding machine that you enter when you become a part of the justice system. When you first get arrested, you go to jail, you go to court, you go to trial, and if you're found guilty, you're sent to prison or back to jail to do your time. That whole process, that machine grinds away at every aspect of your humanity. in an attempt to get you to adapt and assimilate to this environment. You become part of this environment by virtue of your behavior. But somebody somewhere decided that our behavior had to be animalistic so that they would be justified, or the system would be justified in treating us the way that they treat us. And I fully and wholly reject that. And when we were in class the other night and we were having this discussion, and a friend of mine, he said that he believed that we forfeited something when we come in here. And something riled up in me because I wanted him to explain that to me. I don't forfeit anything of myself. I was stupid. What I did was shameful, wrong, and on every level. Whatever word you want to attach to it that shows or makes you understand that I was wrong about that, use it. But at the end of the day, do I deserve to be treated less than? And absolutely not. Absolutely not. One of the ways that we conform to that, the way the system, the machine, convinces us to conform to that, is we become prideful about being a convict. We become prideful about being an inmate because that means a certain thing. Being a convict means that you're somebody that is what? You live by a criminal code. You accept the way life is in an institution. You accept how you're treated by the administration and the population, because this is what it is for convicts or inmates or offenders. You become accustomed to those ways, those norms, without realizing that you're becoming more and more removed, further removed from being identified as somebody that is deserving of respect and dignity, to you draw closer to somebody that can be described as an animal. And most of us don't even realize that process, it's almost, I want to say it's calculated, but I can't prove that. But if you think about the way the system is set up, and all of these smart people that are involved in putting it together and growing it and moving the needle forward as we continue this experiment of prisons, because prisons are, as my professor pointed out, prisons are around 200 years old as far as, the way modern prisons are, starting from the Quakers on to today. So this is still an experiment. So who decided that when you first come into prison, strip search you? They say, well, that's done for security. But the process of that strip searching, you're taking your clothes off in front of a stranger. You got to squat and cough, spread your butt cheeks so a stranger can look up your anus. And I'm being graphic intentionally here, because I want you to fully understand what happens to you when you allow these things to happen. Well, let me correct that. You don't allow it. You have to conform, because these are the rules that they say you have to go by. You have to live by. You have to go to a place in your mind that says, okay, I'll do this, or you don't and you get punished. So that process of stripping away your humanity, I have to say it's calculated, it's planned, it's intentional. And over time, imagine now, I've been doing this for 34 years. Over time, it strips away something. No dignity left. No ownership of your body left. You can't refuse to be strip searched without being punished. Imagine that somebody pulled up on you and said, take off your clothes, even your socks, and raise up your feet. Take off your underwear. Let me see your crotch. Let me look in your anus. Imagine if somebody did that to you every day, year after year, what that would make you feel like. That's what you have to experience in here. And when it was said that we forfeit something, it dawned on me that that is part of the forfeiture that someone, some system wants me to accept. A forfeiting of my humanity in that way. And as we become, those of us in here become the model inmate. Listen to what I'm about to say, y'all. As we become that model inmate, we become closer to what the system has thought of us as being someone that has forfeited that humanity because you conform to all of the things that are expected in here. Don't get me wrong, I believe that you should follow the rules. You should follow the rules. But it's an aspect of this being a model inmate that is dehumanizing. Because you have no control over your person anymore. You don't get to decide the basic things for yourself. Being able to use the restroom in private. No, when we use the restroom, the toilets, we have to cover up our windows for privacy because people are walking around. The officer can walk around. But if that officer decides to walk around and says, knocks on the door and says, take this down, I want to make sure that you're safe. Knowing that no one else is in the room. Well, maybe they don't know. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt just for the sake of this point I'm trying to make. Let's say they don't know that nobody's in the room, but you're sitting on the toilet. You have to somehow magically stop what you're doing and allow that officer to look into that room that you're in to make sure you're safe. And think about that. That is part of this dehumanization process, this forfeiture of your humanity. All of this is part of that. And I refuse to live like that. There are some things that I have to accept. There are some things that I have to accept because I'm in prison. But I refuse to give up that aspect of my mind, of my humanity, that says that I have to be mean towards other people, disrespectful towards other people. See, they can't take that away. They can't take that away. And that's what I mean when I say I refuse to give up. I refuse to forfeit my humanity. I refuse to. Again, I can't stop them from strip searching me. I can't stop them from strip searching me. I can't stop them from knocking on the door when I'm using the facilities and they want to peep in there. I can't stop them from doing that. I can't stop them from listening to my phone calls because they tape the phone calls because that's the only way that I can call my people. And listening in on private conversations, whether it's private conversations with my girlfriend or private conversations with my family about an illness in the family or something like that. I can't stop them from doing that. But I can't stop them from making me believe that that's okay in the name of security. I can't stop myself from accepting that I'm less than a human being and in that treating someone else like they are less than a human being. We have to hold on to our humanity, y'all. And this is no different than what happens with an abuser on the streets, what happens when you're dealing with sex trafficking, the manipulation that has to take place to convince another human being to sell their body for another human being is similar to the dehumanization process that takes place in here. You have to be stripped of all dignity. You have to be stripped down of all, your self-esteem has to be snatched away. You have to be convinced that the people that say they there to protect you or to look out for you, you have to be convinced that they're telling the truth. And that's what happens when you go through this process, whether you be someone that's being sex trafficked, someone that's being abused by their partner, someone that is being manipulated at their workplace, or someone that is in prison. You have to be convinced that the individual that is being abusive towards you has your best interest at heart. And when you psychologically accept that, then you give away, you forfeit your humanity. They decide for you. So now when they tell you to get out there in the streets and sell your body, you do it, and you tell yourself that that person loves you. So when you're at work and you have forfeited your humanity, when your supervisor tells you that you need to do A, B, and C if you want this promotion, you do it. Some part of you knows it's not right, but you accept it. You accept it. So when your partner abuses you and hugs you afterwards while you're still bleeding from your mouth and says that you made me do that, and you say, I know, I'm sorry, you have forfeited your humanity. That's what happens in here on a different level. And I want you to understand that, because abuse is abuse. And in that we have something in common. You can say that people in prison deserve it. I disagree. If abuse is wrong, it's wrong. Period. It shouldn't be allowed in any form. I always say that, to a lot of people that talk about slavery and all that, because that's a big topic in here because of the 13th Amendment. And I say that if slavery was wrong then it's wrong now. Whatever form it takes. Sexual abuse or imprisonment. It's wrong. If it was wrong then, it's wrong now. If it's not wrong now, whether it be for people in prison or sex abuse victims, sex traffic victims, if it's not wrong now, then it wasn't wrong then. You can't have it both ways. So if abuse is wrong, it's wrong. Can I get an amen? If it's wrong, it's wrong. The question is, what do we do about that? What do we do about that? If you're in a situation on the streets, in the free world, where you are being abused, you have unknowingly forfeited or been manipulated into forfeiting your humanity, then what I would say to you is this: realize that you've been abused, and knowing that you are being abused, right? Once you understand that and accept that you are being abused, whether it be in a relationship with someone that you love or what you think you love or that says that they love you, or whether you're being abused at work by a supervisor or a colleague, once you accept that you are being abused, then you need to take the steps to rectify that. Take the steps to rectify that. First, tell somebody. Now, let me back up. First thing you need to do is accept in your mind and in your heart that it's wrong. Because you have to accept that. Because if you don't accept that it's wrong, no matter what anybody does for you, it's not going to change anything, because you still believe that what's happening to you is justified. That grooming process that you have gone through, it makes you believe that it's justified. And what I'm saying, that you need to understand that it's not justified. Now, once you understand that and accept that and believe that in every core of your body, then you tell somebody. Share that information with somebody, because by sharing it, you liberate yourself. And you gain an ally. So that when you do complain about it to someone else, to someone in authority, You have somebody that you say, I talk to them about this. Get some help. Get therapy. Now, if you're someone in prison, it's a little different. It's a little different. Make sure you understand and accept that it's wrong, just like the people on the streets. And then make sure you let your family know how you feel. Because in that, they become your ally. They can encourage you because you're going to need someone to help you walk it back. You're going to need somebody to help you understand that you are not deserving of that. And then after that, what I would say to you, because of the environment that we're in, y'all, there are certain realities to this. What I would say to you is this. You have to come to understand fully that there are some things that they can't take from you. They cannot force you to mistreat another human being. You have to do that on your own. You have to accept that you are what they say you are before you do that. And I'm here to tell you that you're not. You're greater than that. You have so much to offer that you don't even realize how special you are. You don't have to be in prison selling drugs, extorting people, robbing people, hurting people. You don't have to do that. You have come to believe the narrative that they have put out about you. Whether it started before you came to prison by somebody that you loved that told you you were crap, or it started in the courtroom when the DA was arguing the case against you, or it started in jail when you joined the gang, or it started in prison. Wherever it started, you have come to believe that narrative that you don't deserve to be treated better, because if you thought that you deserved to be treated better, then you do better. There's so many other things that you can do if you open your mind up to the possibilities of your greatness. So many different things. You could start your own business. You could write a book. You could do a lot of things. You could go to school, become educated. The more educated you become, the better off you're going to be in life. You're going to be better off in life. Real talk. Real talk. There's so much more to you than you have come to understand and believe, because you have forfeited your humanity. You said that you agree. You've been convinced to believe that what the system defines you as is true. And I refuse to do that, and I'm asking you to do the same thing. Follow the rules. Follow the rules. It is what it is in here. But what goes on in your mind, how you treat your fellow man, it's up to you. The way you decide to conduct your life, that's up to you. Stop being the animal that they say we are. It's up to you. It's up to you. Anybody that says that, whether they are blue or gray, that says that you're an animal and the way you're acting and is the way you should be acting because you are in prison, they're wrong. They're lying to you. Don't be deceived. You are so much more. With that, I'm going to wrap this episode up. I hope that I've been helpful to you. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. And I say peace, y'all.